Hello class, welcome to the second video of the web development series. In this lesson, I'll guide you through building a simple calculator using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Let's get started and bring our project to life. If you haven't set up your programming environment yet, be sure to check out the first episode of the series so you can follow along smoothly. We will start by creating a new file called index.html inside a new folder named calculator. Here, we will generate a basic HTML5 template. There's no need to type all of this manually. Just start typing and select HTML5 from the suggestion dropdown. If the suggestion dropdown doesn't appear, you can open it by pressing Control Space. With the empty page ready, we will now start the live server so we can see our work in the browser. Let's add a title inside the title tag so we can see the name on the browser tab. Now that that's done, let's start building. Inside the body tag, we'll add the HTML content that will be visible in the browser. We will start by creating a main tag to serve as the container for the calculator. This helps organize the content semantically and makes it easier to style later. Our calculator will have 5 rows of buttons. We'll use div tags to divide each row, organizing the buttons neatly and making styling straightforward. We will use a p tag to display the output of the calculation. We will add an input button for the clear function to reset the calculator. The first row of buttons is now complete. I will zoom the page in slightly to see more clearly how the HTML is progressing. Now, we will add the remaining buttons, arranging them in rows with 4 buttons each. This will complete the calculator layout with all necessary functionalities. We can occasionally press Ctrl+S to save the document, ensuring it stays formatted and looks tidy. Congratulations, you just completed your first HTML document. Take a final look to ensure everything is correct, or pause here if you're still editing. Next, we will move on to adding CSS styles. Let's first reset the zoom on the page to normal. Then I will set the font size to a large, easy to read size so you can see it more clearly. Now we will style the calculator container, specifically the main tag. We will add a border so you can visualize how the main tag looks. To set the border, specify the line width, line style, and line color. We will set the container to a width of 800 pixels and a height of 500 pixels. This allows 5 rows to fit neatly if each row has a height of 100 pixels. Let's add a border radius as well to improve the appearance. The padding is the space between the content of an element and its border. It creates space inside the element, pushing the content inward, providing some breathing room around it. Now, we set the rows, the div elements, to a height of 100 px and a width of 100%. To make the input buttons fit well, set their width to 100%. Additionally, by applying display, flex to the parent div element, the 4 child elements, each with width 100%, will be laid out in a flexible row. This setup ensures a responsive and organized layout. We will also add a margin to create some space between the buttons. Let's give the output field an ID so we can easily target it with CSS and JavaScript. To select an element by its ID, use a hashtag before the ID. We will set the width to 100% so the output field shares space with the clear button, and we will add a border to it. We will set the height to 90 pixels. The paragraph tag also has a default margin, so we will reset it by setting the margin to 0. Let's add some text inside the paragraph tag so we can see how it appears. The 90 pixel height allows for a 5 pixel padding on each side. We will also align the text to the right. Congratulations! You have completed your first CSS. You can pause here if you're still typing, and then we will add functionality with JavaScript. We will add a script tag at the bottom of the body for the JavaScript. Let's select the output element by its ID from earlier and save it in a constant to use later. With const, you can store things that you won't change later. Now, we can use the variable to update the output element by setting its text content. Now we create another variable using let, so we can update its value later, and then use this variable to set the text in the output element. With that set up, let's select all input tags. Since this returns multiple elements, we'll need to make edits for each of them. If we change the text color, we can clearly see that all the input elements have been edited. To handle clicks on each input button, we will add an event listener that listens for click events. These events will be managed using the handle input function. Here, we will define the handle input function, which takes the click event E as its argument from the event listener. To get the value of the button, we need the target property from the event that relates to the HTML element, and of the element we need the value property. We will save this in a constant variable for easy access later. Now, we can process the input value. There are two special cases, the CLR button and the equals button. We will check if the value is CLR or equals. If it is, we handle those cases accordingly. Otherwise, we add the value to the output variable. At the end, we will update the output element with the new output. For the CLR button, we will query the output by setting it to an empty string. For the equals button, we will use a special function called eval. This function takes a string as input and executes it as JavaScript code instead of treating it as plain text. Congratulations on building your very first website. I hope this project gave you some valuable insights into how the web works and how HTML, CSS, and JavaScript come together to create something interactive. Great job sticking with it. You're well on your way to becoming a web developer. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed building your first website and creating this simple calculator. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more web development tutorials. Keep experimenting and building. See you in the next video.